Hello everyone and welcome to our final pre-season video and the big one really on the eve of FPL returning. Quite an exciting time for FPL players, and I've got with me Bakes. How are you doing? How are you feeling at the moment?
Yeah, I'm good, Chris. Thanks for having me on again.
Good. Yeah, welcome back. Good to see you again. And tonight, obviously, we're going to do some team reveals with like less than 24 hours to go before the game starts. We've got some teams to look at. So we've been fortunate enough to receive some teams that people are happy with from some of the community, some of the guys in the WhatsApp group. Are you happy with your team? I guess that's a key question, because we're going to look at yours later as well.
Yeah, I'm not happy at all with my team.
Okay,
with less than 24 hours to go is not ideal, but we can talk about that.
Well, we can talk about that.
Very glad some people are happy with their teams.
No, absolutely, but maybe this will get us halfway there as well. Get us all the way there if we're only halfway there at the moment. Okay, right, we're going to get straight into it. So first up, before we even start looking at any teams, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about the GOAT of FPL, who has left us. So brand new season, a brand new era, because there is no Mo. Any thoughts on that, Bakes?
Well, it's massive, obviously. I mean, it's been such a massive part of FPL for, well, these last 9 years, the kind of points you see there that he's accrued over that period of time. It's a huge change in the game, just not having Mo Salah available as one of the players. It's massive.
Yeah, it was definitely like something I would fall back on, safety net of Mo Salah. Obviously, we captained him, we owned him a lot, captained him a lot. And without him, obviously, everything's changed. There is a new man in town, who we'll come to, but maybe two men in town. But he was so big, so massive. And I think because we don't have Mo, this is the first time that we haven't had him for a long time. And it's definitely made me a bit uneasy with my team selection. So with that in mind, we're going to go through some of the WhatsApp groups teams first of all, and then come to ours at the end. So who have we got first? We've got Duncan Hannigan. He is not looking to bench boost game week 1. I'm just going to full screen that so I can see the players. Okay, so yeah, he's going to bench boost game week 1 and probably wildcard game week 3. He also said he's not sure about Kirkes. He might swap him, but obviously he supports Liverpool, and that's reflected in the 3 Liverpool picks. I think Wirtz and Isak have definitely got merits. Definitely can see why you'd pick them. Maybe it's a trickier fixture. I don't know how hard the fixture it is against Newcastle away. Normally it is, but
not with the way Newcastle are at the moment. The uncertainty there, I think that's a good fixture.
So when we look at this team, obviously there's no Haaland is the first thing you notice,
right? Exactly.
But obviously Bruno is there, and Bruno is captain, so that's absolutely fine. And because there's no Haaland, there's a lot of money to go around. So Dunk's on the bench boost. I think, to be honest, if you're going to bench boost, you should probably go without Haaland, because it gives you so much power to build that bench. And you can see on the bench he's got some big names. I think if I was going on, spoiler alert, but if I was, I think I probably would go down the route of no Haaland and hope that he only gets 60 minutes and he doesn't do too much damage. And hope that the fact that you've got big players on your bench and a good backup keeper can outscore that.
Yeah. The word hope there, Chris, is doing a lot of heavy lifting when we talk about
it's fine unless Haaland goes mad. It's absolutely fine, I think, unless Haaland goes mad. Yeah. And then you've got hope, obviously, Bruno can keep up with him. And is Haaland going to go mad after? I'm not totally convinced about Haaland from the very, very start of the season, although traditionally he's an animal at the beginning. But I think it's a really interesting setup because of no Haaland. You can throw. I mean, look at that midfield. If you bench Calvert-Lewin there and put Semenyo on the team, that midfield is insane.
It is, and I was looking at this, I think. I mean, it is crazy. I mean, look at the amount of money that's spent there on the midfield and on the attack. It's incredible. I do wonder what are you going to do in game week 2? Because you're going to have to leave one of those 8 players out. Who are you going to leave out week after week?
It's only 1 week, isn't it? If he wildcards game week 3.
Yeah, true. That is true.
And you're banking on.
I just wonder whether maybe there's something could be done just to rebalance a little bit into defence. That's probably all I'd say with this team.
Because only Calafiori, he's got Calafiori.
If you go Calafiori to Gabriel, right? So you've got the guaranteed 90 minutes, still got goal threat. Is there one of those midfielders that could be downgraded, or attackers that could be downgraded, just to free up some space and just rebalance a little bit into defence?
Interesting, yeah.
Otherwise, all of these, they're all good picks. There's nothing.
I just think when you've got that 5 in midfield and then you've got Isak and João Pedro up front, okay, you need Man United and Liverpool to score some goals, but it's a strong hand in the first week.
Yeah. I'd probably be looking at Wirtz. Maybe can you downgrade Wirtz to Szoboszlai? Can you upgrade Kerkez to Van Dijk? Is that a better? There might.
I don't know how much Kerkez is. How much is Kerkez?
I think is he 5 or 5.5, something like that. I mean, you might need a little movement around somewhere else, but don't know. Probably what
there's lots of good things though. Lamens I really like. Calafiori, I don't mind. Solis I like. Obviously Bruno and Buemo is good. As I say, great front line.
Does Solis start?
I think so. Yes, he started. I think the last few pre-season games, and it looks like Martinelli's leaving. So
yeah,
it's Coventry. It's Coventry though, isn't it? So you want someone who, well, I don't know. Maybe Eze's better on teams that are harder to open up. Yeah, he seems to have been playing. So we shall see. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So who is next? We've got Daryl James. Daryl is Arsenal fan. He's also bench boosting game week 1. I've put all the bench boost game week 1s I think together, but no plans for early wildcard unless Haaland starts hauling. That maybe should be when Haaland starts hauling. What can we see here that's different? I mean, there's definitely.
Well, it's gone Thiago, and I like Thiago as a pick.
Yeah,
we'll come on to this when we look at my team. I like Thiago as a pick. That's good.
But look at that defense as well. He's got Raya and Gabriel.
So this is where I'm thinking, putting a little bit of that extra money into defence, which means you've got the likes of Gibbs White then coming into midfield, and Enzo a bit cheaper than some of the players we saw on the previous team. So there's that different balance here, which is interesting, and it's not a right or wrong route. I don't think necessarily, but this is probably close to the way I would go if I was no Haaland.
If you were bench boost game week 1, what about? Look at that bench though. I mean, it's pretty strong, isn't it? Tarkowski on the bench. I mean, I don't know. I think I'd have to have Tarkowski as in the first 11 there, but I mean,
it's on Trafford as a pick, but
is it? It's Leeds. I think Leeds as a team.
Save 0.5. I think.
Leeds as a team, though. I think people have got an interest in definitely. Quite a few of their players, and Trafford's ready for a big season, so we'll have to see. But and he's at the moment he's captain Solis. Maybe that's his Arsenal hat on.
I don't think.
I just realised he doesn't have Bruno either.
No Fernandes either.
Oh,
I think that's a problem.
That's why the bench is so strong. But Buemo, maybe he captain Buemo then in that case in that team.
I don't think you can go without both Haaland and Fernandes. That's just too dangerous. Surely that's too dangerous. The ownership of those two.
Well, he's obviously thought they're overpriced, I guess, but
well, they are. Of course, they are. But some players have to be.
Yeah.
If you want points, you've got to pay for them.
Interesting. Okay, that's two quite different bench boost game week 1 teams. I think we've got this is another one. So this is Harvey. It's Harvey Smith's another Liverpool fan. Bench boost game week 1, wildcard game week 6 or 7. So this is sort of trying to set for a few weeks. Has got Haaland, hasn't got Bruno Fernandes.
So here we've got a bench boost game week 1, but that has Haaland in it.
Yeah, for the first time we've seen this. So, and it's got O'Reilly there as well, who I think is a really good pick, as long as he plays enough minutes, which I think he will. And Rodgers there. I mean, I think probably Rodgers does start. Buemo, Wirtz, and Dye.
Does Konsa start?
No, I suppose maybe not, but he's got Rodon on the bench there.
Not if he's bench boosting.
Oh no, yeah. I guess he'll change that one then. I'm sure he will. Interesting. And then he's got, I guess, the biggest front three you could have. Biggest front three in the game.
The only way to get it more expensive would be João Pedro to Thiago would be an extra 0.5.
Yeah.
That is as big as it gets.
So you are banking on, but you've always got a captain. You think you've always got a captaincy pick out of those three.
Is that too many captain picks though? And no Fernandez I see here as well again.
Yeah, I mean you're banking on Isak doing what he needs to do. He needs to score 25 goals, I would say, probably to be a value pick. Either that or get a lot of assists and get less goals. And that's over the season.
Do you think having Mbremo covers Fernandez? Do you think that's a
no, it's not cover, but it's probably the guy who's going to play up front. That's what everyone thought until he got benched.
I think he was
probably the guy who's going to play up front. I think for Man United, in those.
Well, if he doesn't play up front, he's going to play right wing. I mean, he'll be
it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just
he's not going to not start. He's absolutely
yeah, I think Mbeumo, he's not left my team. Mbeumo, even when he got benched. I think from the first time I made a team to now, he hasn't left my team. So,
is he more important than Fernandez then?
He's so much better value. 8 million. I mean, you could have Mbeumo, and if Cunha was nailed on to start, and you could have both of those for one, not that much less than the cost of Bruno. So, and then there's Dorgu as well, who's interesting if he's going to start. But what's the bench like on this then? So we've got Kinski on the bench. That's pretty good. Gomez, we like that. He's going to play. Rodon's good, and Van Ewijk. I think I don't know. I'd try and avoid Coventry if I was bench boost one. I think.
Yeah, against Arsenal. What do you think? I've just noticed. What do you think about the Rodgers pick?
I think he might be in a lot of teams at some point this season. I think we'll all have a go on him.
Game week 1.
I think there's a bit of risk there, but let's be honest, there's a bit of risk about a lot of players starting. But the thing is, right, he came back, and the first game he was properly available for, he started. And if we're going to play this three, at the back,
I think he'll start.
If we're going to play the three at the back, then he's got a place in that side with Palmer sort of as the 2 10s behind Pedro, and that's probably his best position. We've just spent 117 million on him, so it's an eye-watering amount of money. I would think he starts. So why not?
Wouldn't you not put him in the wait and see bracket?
Well, you might do normally, but we have seen him for a couple of seasons. We kind of know what he's about. The other thing with him is he usually plays 90 minutes every game, never injured. So he's got that. It's not like he's a player you need to protect from anything.
Yeah. Now, if he was still at Villa, I think nothing wrong with it.
We have got loads of players who could play in his position. Yeah.
And the minutes, for Chelsea, much less.
Yeah, he's going to get subbed. Yeah, he's going to get subbed unless he's having an amazing game. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I think we looked at Harvey's enough there. Okay, so next one is James Downey. Now this is an Aston Villa fan.
Where are the Villa players, Chris? Where are the Villa players?
First question, isn't it? Where are the Villa players? No, there's definitely none there.
What are you doing, James? This is madness.
Yes, but this is on a slightly different strategy because this is set up for bench boost game week 2.
Game week 2, right.
With a wild card in 4. So you've got the City play. So he's hoping that he can get 3 games out of Foden, and he's got Haaland and he's got Bruno, and he's bench boosting. Let's have a look at that bench. So Rushworth, who's obviously in game week 2 they have Hull at home, don't they? So Rushworth, Thomas, and I don't know how to say that. Van Ewijk, all at home.
3 Coventry defenders.
Yeah, I mean, I think we briefly mentioned it last time when we were talking about chip strategy.
Yeah. First of all, I don't know that Thomas is nailed in the centre.
I think he is, isn't he? I think
they got 3. They got 3. It could be from.
Oh, really?
Got this new guy, Amenda.
I thought it was going to be Amenda and Thomas.
It's Mender and there's Thomas and then another one, and I think it's one of those two.
Yeah, I think he's favourite to start, but yeah, obviously things can change if it's game week 2. But I think we mentioned it on the last video, but if it comes in, it's a 25-point easy bench boost plus.
So
if it doesn't, then it's a 10-point. No, you get more than that because Thomas and you'd think they probably might get DEFCON. Sangari might get DEFCON. The keeper might get a save, even or a couple of saves or something. I think it's probably a 10-pointer. Even without, because defenders we know and defensive midfielders get DEFCONs, especially if you've got Thomas is good for them. Apparently, I remember reading that. So yeah, that's quite different. That one,
very different. Very different.
Set up better in some ways for the long term because it's got Bruno and Haaland, so you don't have to worry about that, and you can always come off them. The Foden pick is worth discussing. What do you think about him?
I don't like it. I have to say, I'll be perfectly honest. He's done nothing pre-season. I think he'll play. I think he'll start.
Yeah, I think he will start. And is that enough?
I would have no confidence.
And I think JD's when he texted me, he said something like, "I've always done well with Foden," and I think there were people last season who got on him in the 5-game spell where he did really well.
Yeah,
and they've got great memories. I got on him just after that spell, if I remember rightly. So less favourable memories.
I'd be wanting to try and get I think you'd get more out of Mbuemo, for example, for a similar price. I'm trying to think who else is similar price around that kind of.
Well, he's $1 million more, and I think he's probably stretched his money there. So he's got the template front three, which is pretty strong. He's also got stoppers like Bruno and Solis, so a decent sort of midfield. It looks okay on paper. It's just the Foden thing is obviously reliant on him doing something, and also you need him to play. I do like it. I like. I think the defense is good. Double man is good, better than fine, really. But Ballard I like, and Calafiori I love if he gets 60 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that one.
What do you think about the double United defense as well? There, though.
You want to go double United defense or double attack, don't you? I think with these fixtures, so it's one or the other. It depends how bad we think Hull and Ipswich are going to be. If they're that bad, then you take the double clean sheets. I think just take them. It's like, what's that? That's 12 points before any DEFCONs and saves and bonus per player. So for the 2 fixtures. Yeah. So and he's bench boosting game week 2. So that's definitely something we discussed last time. I think in some ways I preferred the bench boost game week 1 teams we've seen. The benches certainly.
So I toyed with this week and a half ago. I was on a bench boost game week 1. Then there was all the chat about bench boost game week 2. You got the Coventry Hull game. So I slightly ripped up my team with an eye on bench boost game week 2. And then I looked at it and I'm like, I don't like that team as much as the bench boost game week 1 team. So I went back to the previous team. But it was more of just a feeling I was getting from it rather than anything else.
Okay, right. We'll move on to the next one. So Donald Macaulay. So wild card around 6 or 7. No other chip plans at the start.
Wow. Okay.
A Liverpool fan again. This is a totally different sort of setup to what we've seen before in terms of the chip strategy. But the team obviously definitely has some familiarities. We're looking at Bruno and Haaland again with double Arsenal defence. Raya there just looks so secure. So that's what are your thoughts on that one?
Well, it's very different, obviously, because he's not doing an early bench boost. So he's picking a team the way we would traditionally pick a team. And so I think that's why we've got very different players here than we've seen in the previous teams.
Yeah, you can't go with that kind of massive midfield and Bruno. Yeah, it's just not possible. So.
There's a lot to like about it. There's a few though. I'm not sure about Barry. I know he's got a couple of goals in pre-season.
I think he's cheap though, isn't he? Is he 5.5?
I think he's 6.
Oh, is he? Okay. I thought he was 5.5. We should probably have our phones looking at this, but
looking at the prices, maybe.
I'll just check if anyone's. We've got some comments. There we go. Right. Okay. So I think this is really strong. Obviously, Barry and Wilson stand out as perhaps pick players we haven't looked at, we haven't seen yet. Wilson, obviously, at the back of an amazing season, where at one point he looked like almost everything he touched flew in the corner somewhere.
Yeah.
And has obviously moved teams off the back of that to Leeds, who had a really strong end to the season. So the combination kind of does sit. And you think he's going to be on set pieces.
Wilson.
Yeah, definitely. I would think some set pieces, definitely. Anything left footed.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the Wilson pick.
No,
I think it's this strategy that allows you to bring him in, whereas others would go down a different route.
Yeah, but he has got a bit of strength on the bench as well there with McGinn and Robertson. I'm
not sure about. I kind of get McGinn. He's the talisman now at Villa as well, isn't he? So if you think they're going to have a good start,
probably on pens, we think maybe as well now. So
possibly,
yeah. And then the other one we haven't discussed is Robertson. You just mentioned. I think he probably does start at the beginning of the season. So
probably does. I reckon probably for the money you could probably do a little bit better, but it's a route into the Spurs defence, I guess.
Yeah, which is traditionally not a defence we wanted to route into.
No, it might be better under De Zerbi, though. We'll see. I'm not sure.
Better because they've bought some decent players, but we've seen this before.
Yeah, they bought Van Heck and they bought Senesi.
And and then obviously the whole new midfield with Tonali and Fernandez.
Yeah.
Who they paid an awful lot of money for both of those. So
crazy.
I think I like this team. Hume is another one who's interesting. He's played out of position, hasn't he? He's apparently started 34 games of 38 last season, and I wasn't sure if I'd ever heard of him.
No, I hadn't heard of him at all. I'm amazed. You just said that. I didn't know that. Never heard of him, but we'll see in a moment. It's in my team at the moment.
Yeah, how's that happened? And then you think, okay, so he's probably going to start. I think I've heard from a few Sunderland fans, various channels, that he's probably going to start. The question is where he starts, because he could start right back or he could start right midfield / right wing. Apparently, when he plays right wing, it's more of a right midfield job. He's not really like breaking into the box or anything like that. It's more tucked in, to make them solid, really.
Yeah. The thing is, though, in the last pre-season game, he played right back and he still scored.
Yeah, and he's got a good cross on him, and he's obviously got a good engine. He can obviously play all the minutes. He's probably going to get 90 minutes. And he's a defender, and if he's playing out of position, that used to be absolute bread and butter for us, didn't it? Like as FPL managers, it was like you have to pick if they are out of position, and they've got great fixtures. Sunderland, the first 3. Definitely something I've looked at, and I've actually ended up without any Sunderland, but it can all change. I'm sort of talking myself into it here because I've seen their first 3 fixtures, and they're just so good. So I think if you're planning to wildcard early,
Sunderland is definitely one to look for. I don't think there'll be as big a drop off as a lot of people think in terms of their performance. I don't really see why there would be. The fixtures are great. Players are relatively cheap, so I think there's a lot of upside in the Sunderland players for me if you're going to wildcard it.
Okay, I realise we're 25 minutes in, and we've still got a few to go. Not too many. Right, who's next? So Connor Parks sent me his team. No early chips planned at all, which is I love. Again, we haven't seen that so far. And team supported Charlton Athletic, so absolutely no biases here. Coming at this, just looking at the players and picking the ones you want. So what's this one? So Haaland is there. No Bruno straight away. You notice. But you've obviously have the safety net of Haaland, and also Treble City. This is the first one we've seen in Treble City. Which I like. City's fixtures are amazing. There is obviously some unknowns, quite big ones, including their manager.
Yeah.
But their fixtures, their home fixtures in particular, are so good. The first 4, I think, are amazing. So, yeah, I kind of understand Triple City. You're putting your eggs in that basket, and on paper that makes sense.
Yeah.
As long as you've got some Man United, I think, as well, which is Man United. He's got Maguire and he's got Mbeumo, which is fine, good. And the midfield is really strong because obviously there's no Bruno, so he doesn't have to have like a cheaper player in there. And his forward line is really strong.
Yeah.
So the upgrade from, say, a DCL or whoever you've got as your third striker to a Thiago is impressive. Like, he has used that money quite well, it seems, and he's not bench boosting. So his bench is not. There's not much on the bench there. Hughes is dirt cheap. Van Ewijk is cheap. Dubravka's cheap. Aina is okay. I think he's going to play the first few games.
Yeah, I think he will. Hughes, I'm not so sure.
Hughes, I think he'll play a bit, but I don't know if he'll start. But
he's highly owned at this price point. I think it's 4.5 million, like the cheapest, midfielders. He's the most highly owned player, but I don't know that he's going to start.
So there is a risk of him tumbling a bit, maybe.
But then again, he's not planning a bench boost, so a lot of it doesn't really matter because he's not. Hughes is whoever is that player, he's not going to play anyway. So.
And that defence is pretty solid, isn't it? O'Reilly, Maguire, Fury. I mean, you can't really see any problems with that. Kinski is maybe the best 4.5. We think.
Is there an argument with that much money on the bench that you rebalance a little bit and you try and find your way to a Gabriel or a Van Dijk?
Well, there isn't any money on the bench.
Sorry, money in the defence. That's right.
Well, I mean, you'd have to go O'Reilly to Gabriel and then Calafiori down, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, or Van Dijk's 6.5, I think.
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, so
go to O'Reilly.
The thing with O'Reilly is it's fun own. I mean, he basically plays like in advanced midfield. Like he starts as a left back, and before you know it, he's the one kind of next to Haaland.
Yeah, no, for sure. I do worry about whether he starts and what his minutes are going to be like.
I think he starts, but I think the minutes are a worry. But then for a defender, as long as it's after 60, no problem coming off early. You forsake the DEFCON, but O'Reilly's not getting DEFCON anyway. And neither's Calafiori. So you just want them to get to 60.
You're
just really like praying at 55 minutes,
DEFCON's something we've not really talked about very much. We haven't looked.
No, we haven't seen lots of defenders who are, we've seen Tarkowski. We've seen Tarkowski.
That's right. So he's going to get 160 points easily this season because he does it every season as long as he plays. And he's 6 million. If that was a midfielder, you'd want him. So he's I think Tarkowski, even at 6, is a good pick. Obviously, the thing is, can you find a 5.5 or a 5 who does what Tarkowski does? That's the challenge, isn't it? Or a midfielder, right? Because we haven't seen many people go for a DEFCON monster in the midfield.
There aren't. We don't know who they are yet. We don't know who they. We saw a Sangare, I think.
It was a Sangare, yeah.
We don't know who they. We don't know who they are. That's the problem yet this season, because of all the uncertainty with the manager changes and the teams set up differently.
Maybe we don't have to, because you look at the setup of a lot of these teams. I mean, when you can get the quality of players that we can get, do you need to? Particularly in the midfield, if I can get 4 or 5, you've got all the upside from the assists and set pieces.
And then also you work out who the DEFCON guys are in the first 3-4 games.
Yeah.
And those are the players you bring in, because those are actually long-term picks. You don't buy a DEFCON guy for weeks. You buy them for till the next wild card, basically, if you're convinced. Because that's how they get their points. You just stick them in there and they're going to get 3, 4, 5 points a game. Cool. Let's go to the next one. Pete's Cronin. Okay, so slightly different again. We've got no early chips planned, but we are planning a wild card maybe in 6, which is definitely a good time to do it because of the international break, which is a big one. So yeah, you think you might get some price rises, and also we should know quite a bit by then, or hopefully know quite a bit. Chelsea fan, as we know, if you're familiar to this channel,
Famous.
one Chelsea player in there, João Pedro. Let's be honest, he's in most teams. I think we've seen, and with good reason. He's had an amazing pre-season. He had a good season last season. Just been given the number 9 shirt though, so probably will never score again for Chelsea.
The curse.
Yeah, the curse is alive and needs to be put to bed. So hopefully Pedro can do that this season. Got Haaland there, got Bruno, and you wanted a DEFCON guy. I'll give you.
There's no DEFCON guys. We've got 2 in the same team.
Yeah, he's got Sangari as well. There you go. And that's before we even get to the defence. But no, that's I like the midfield though. I really do. Anderson, we're pretty sure, is just going to play every game 90 minutes, I would imagine, or close to. And now Rodri's gone and Reinders is gone. Gonzalez is going, so he probably needs some help. And they're I'm guessing they're going to, but they're not. He's not coming out of that team.
A couple of others,
yeah. I think the first thing here is 4-4-2. Have we seen a 4-4-2 yet? Not sure. Don't think we have.
Everything's been 3-4-3 pretty much, I think so.
Yeah, and I was really toying with a 4-4-2 for a long time before I changed my team to what you're going to see later, because the defenders just give you so much value, and certainly last season, so many of the top scoring players were defenders, and you're getting them at prices that are so much cheaper. So totally makes sense to go 4 at the back. It's just hard to do because you lose an attacking player in your head. But you're not losing an attacking player, you're gaining a defensive player. So, yeah, anything stand out to you there from that team?
There's a few new picks we haven't seen. So he's gone Kelleher in goal. That's the first Kelleher we've seen.
Yep. It was strong last season. I think he got 3 penalty saves, which bumped him up to kind of the 3rd, 4th top scoring goalkeeper of the season.
Yeah. So. At 5 though, I guess he didn't want to double up with Lamans over Maguire. Other options. I don't hate it. I'm not. Calafiori and White would worry me. I have to say, having both of those.
Do you think? I'm not sure if you get 5 games out of both of them.
No, and minutes. I think for both of them will be. I think I can see them both being taken off fairly early in games, even if they do both start, which I think Calafiori will. I'm not sure. With Conser arriving now, I think White's minutes are a little bit more under threat. I like the Walla. Is it a Gailey guy?
Yeah, he's supposed to. He might start apparently.
I think he's going to start
a 45 forward.
He's quite interesting at that really cheap price point. He could be quite interesting. He's got Davis, which I like, which we'll see why in a minute. What do you think? I mean,
I think it looks
Xhaka is the second time we've seen Xhaka. What are your
he had a storming debut at the weekend. Played 45 minutes. Apparently looked a Rolls Royce, as they like to say about defenders. So yeah, he apparently looked really good. He only played 45 minutes. I assume that was planned. I think he's coming back from injury, so there has to be a minute's risk there. But you would think he would start. He's there. Paid a lot of money for him. Araujo is the alternative, but they might need him at right. They might need him at right back. I think Frimpong is fit. So, but for how long usually with him? I don't mind. I think Liverpool are interesting because I think they've got the best 5 fixtures early on, I would say. But in saying that, first 2 aren't amazing. But after that, I really, really like them. And overall, I think as a 5, they're excellent. And I think I would definitely want 1 or 2 Liverpool players if you're planning to go to 5 games. Yeah. There's only 1 actually there, isn't there? So,
only 1 here. Yeah, no Liverpool attacker.
But yeah, I mean, it's only Szoboszlai or Wirtz, and who would you swap him in for there? You can't really.
I'd probably have to be in for Anderson, and maybe you could bring Kelleher down to a Kinski or Verbruggen, couldn't you? Would that really weaken your goalkeeper on your team if you did that? something like that, maybe.
He's got two. What's his goalkeeper? What's going on with the goalkeepers? He's got Lecomte. He's a 4 million, isn't he? Yeah.
I assume he's a 4 million. Yeah, I don't know. Is he the Brentford backup or something?
Fulham goalkeeper, he is. So maybe who's their goalkeeper? Leno. I think he had a bit of a rough pre-season, don't know. So maybe.
Oh, they're thinking that maybe this guy starts or might come in at some point. Maybe.
I mean, that'd be a touch from it. No, but I mean, treble Arsenal, Coventry at home. You've got treble Man United. Those first two fixtures. You've got double City. You've got João Pedro. I like the Xhaka pick. Obviously, there's a slight risk there, but I like it. Sangare on the bench, who's expected to be the new Anderson. So if Sangare does that, then I guess Anderson can become a cheaper option, and then Sangare can just play because you just play him every week if he is what they say he is. So that would then open up the money to do something else, maybe to upgrade Wally Igeli when you've had your fun with him. No, I like it strong. Okay, we're going to move on. I think we've got two more left. And guess whose they are? So here we go. Here's Bakes' team. Bench boost game week 1. West Ham, kind of irrelevant. We don't really need to talk about that for the first time in a long time. But here it is. Bakes, talk us through it.
I'd say, first of all, that I was tinkering around with it this morning and I've left myself with a team that I don't really like. So I think there's going to be some changes to this before we go into game.
Love it.
A few different
great caveat.
Teams. Quite a few different picks, which I don't like. I'm not that kind of player. But I think there's so an obvious one is Dowell on the bench. I'll change him because I don't think he's going to start. So I need to do something about that. But otherwise, I think all of these guys start and get a lot of minutes. If I'm going to bench boost game week 1, then I want people who are going to be playing mostly 90 minutes is what I'm looking for. I'm also looking for players that, because of the way I play, teams that have high percentage ownership. So I was saying to you earlier, Chris, that I think Thiago's a better pick than João Pedro. I think his fixtures are better. I think his minutes are better. He's got penalties. I think he's a better pick. But I'm going to go with João Pedro because his ownership is at least 3 times what Thiago's is.
It sounds so wrong when you say it. I
say 0.5. I like the Ndai pick. I have to say, I'm surprised he's not in any other teams. Guaranteed.
He's in a lot of teams. I've seen a lot of teams in Ndai.
It's not on any of the ones we've seen here, but yeah. And I mean, he's obviously going to be a relatively popular pick. But I like him. I do like that. I'm going to call him Tarek because I'm not going to try and pronounce his surname.
First time I've seen him.
I think he's a monster. I think he'll get a lot of attacking returns. Loaded defcons. I think he's a really good pick. At 5, he's quite punchy for a Leeds defender, but I like him. I brought Vuskovic in this morning. I'm not 100% sold on him, but he's a similar kind of player to Tarek. So,
and also if one of those doesn't work out and one of them does, you can come off, can't you? Come off the one that doesn't.
I suspect. I mean, they're both 5. I suspect I'll end up downgrading one of them, probably Vuskovic, to be able to upgrade Dowell to somebody a bit better at 5 rather than 4.5. It's probably
so. Is Dowell a 4.5?
Yeah.
So who are you going to put in that's 4.5 that's going to play?
The option at 4.5 is probably Slater rather than Dowell in the hole because he's much more likely to start. But I think I'll upgrade him to 5. Never heard of it. I'll upgrade Dowell to a 5 midfielder and then probably downgrade Vuskovic to a 5 defender. Is probably what I'll do. Calafiori's in a lot of teams, and I think he starts at left back.
Yep.
My concern is the minutes they're getting hooked sometime before 60 minutes. Given the number of options they've got at left back with Hincapié or Lewis Skelly, then he is going to be substituted every game. There's no question. And it could happen before 60 minutes. The upsides are there because he's a very attacking left back, but I'm still not 100% sure about it.
Yeah, the dream with him is he scores and they get a clean sheet. He gets hauled off at 61 minutes. And
that's brilliant.
And you're absolutely laughing. That's the dream. And that will happen. That can easily happen on Friday night. Tomorrow night, less than 24 hours from now. That can easily happen, I think. But the flip of that can happen as well, that he doesn't get that goal and he comes off on 59, and that's going to hurt. But So one Arsenal player here, only one Arsenal player?
Yeah. Only one Arsenal player. Yeah, I'm toying with the idea of the Arsenal attack is really hard because we don't know who's going to start, how many minutes any of these players have got.
We know Odegaard's going to start, I would say. We know,
but he's a good FPL pick. I'm not convinced he is.
He used to be, and he's had 2 years now of not being. And I think a lot of that has been injury related. And when he came back, he's never really looked like the right player. He looked like the right player on Sunday in the Community Shield. He also had a good World Cup. I've got my eye on Odegaard at 6 million. I'm not putting him in yet, but I think he's captain of the team as well. So
he plays number 10, so he's going to be
start. He's going to start most games. I don't mind it as a pick. He's also 6 million. He was like 8 million when we were looking at him before, and I think he got something like 40 attacking returns in 2 seasons.
Yeah,
so 20 a season.
Oh, you're talking me into it now.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm just when you say there's
6.5. He's 6.5.
Okay, so he's a little bit more.
Same as Solis.
I think most people in the Arsenal camps seem to think that he's going to start. He started most of the preseason games. He's looked really good. Martinelli's on his way out, and they don't really have another left winger other than Eze, who's not a left winger.
Eze could play there. Madueke could play there.
Not very well. Not as well as this. This new guy looks like he might be. There's always one. There's always one. There's always one. And he might go on to be an absolute superstar. We might have forgotten who he ever is by 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
In fact, no, we won't, because we've all picked him. So we'll remember exactly.
He'll definitely remember.
He'll go down as a Barco or one of these other guys who we picked over the years that have been a disaster.
I'm not ruling out sort of upgrading Ndai to, because that's where this would have to. I don't see me coming off Fernandes and Mbeumo or Szoboszlai.
Right. Okay. So Ndai's
such solid picks.
And is Ndai just for the pens?
Pens, minutes, nailed.
Everton.
What's not to like? Everton's fixtures are all right.
Yeah,
I mean that's the one. That's the one that might be upgraded to Solis if I can find 0.5 somewhere.
Oh, is he only 6 as well? Is he 6?
Oh, it's 6. Yeah.
That's a bit. That is decent for a penalty taker. The other problem with him though is there's rumours, isn't there, that he might be on his way? But
I think that's done now.
Okay. Obviously, you got the classic, the template front three.
Got a template front three. You know how I love a template, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with a template. As long as the template's doing well, which it often is.
That's kind of the idea of the template.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then Lamon's in goal. We haven't seen a lot of Lamons. I think Pete hasn't, didn't he? But
this morning I had Shaw as my defender, and I decided I didn't like that pick for obvious reasons. But I decided I still wanted a Man United defender. I wanted to get in on their good early fixtures, so I've gone with Lamons as the keeper. I don't like it, so it might well change.
Okay.
But Lamons is a good keeper. United defence, I think you've got to invest in it somewhere. So I think.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to criticise this, because that's what it's all about. Vuskovic is a bit of a risk. I like the rest of them in defence. I think Hume is fine early, but you're booking in a transfer there in 2-3 weeks.
I'm booking in a wild card anyway, game week 3 or 4.
Right. So that's part of the strategy. Okay. I don't mind Hume, then that's fine. Yeah. Whoever you said replaced his Dowell, I still think somehow that needs to be better for a bench boost. Yeah. And Davis is fine. Kinski's good. And Ndai, I don't get the Ndai pick. I've seen him in loads of teams on X. He's all the things you said. And they got 2 penalties the last 2 seasons. So 1 in 19 games. Are you going to spike one early? If you spike one and he gets one, then great. But it's Everton for me. But the thing with Everton is they are a known. They're not an unknown. Right. We know what to get from them. They're not going to score loads of goals, but they'll chip in. And he is probably the most dangerous player they've got. Dewsbury Hall I quite like, but no, I think Ndai's probably
their best. 8.5 more though. Dewsbury Hall is 6.5.
Okay. I just don't know. I think there's other 6s I quite like. I quite like the Enzo Lafay at Sunderland on pens. Sunderland have got better fixtures than Everton. There's just maybe some question marks about Sunderland's second season, but pretty good, mate. It's not bad at all. The bench doesn't look good for a bench boost to me. I mean, but what can you do? You've not tried to put loads of money on it. You're just getting it out of the way, I feel there.
In part, I mean, my strategy is more kind of play it the way I would normally play, except for the second keeper. Kind of pick the kind of squad I would normally pick, but then just play the bench boost anyway, just to get it out of the way, get some extra points, and not construct a team specifically for a bench boost.
It doesn't. Almost when you look at it, you think that's not a bench boost team, apart from the double keepers.
No, it's not, and it's not designed to be. Other than the fact I've got a playing second keeper.
Okay, well then in that case, it's probably all right, and you know what you're doing. Of course, you know what you're doing. Right, finally, let's get to mine and rip mine to shreds.
Should we just address the comment that just came in from Mark, which is where are all the Saka picks? Well,
would have been nice if I had Saka there, wouldn't it, for this? Yeah. Saka is a bit expensive when we don't even know he's going to start, Mark. Yeah. But thank you for your comment. Right, so here's me. I've gone for Kinski in goal. At a cheap option, Steele on the bench. I have Gabriel. I think this is the first time we've seen Gabriel.
So you've got all three. You've got Gabriel, Fernandes, and Haaland.
I've managed to just about squeeze it in. So yeah, I've got Gabriel. I've got Maguire, who seems fine. Hopefully he can get a goal or get some DEFCON or something, and maybe definitely one clean sheet you want out of the 2 games. And I've got Christopher Ayer there at the moment from Brentford, who I think is going to play. The problem is there I've got Kinski and Ayer, which is obviously, or Ayer, whatever his name is, which isn't ideal. But I could swap for Rodon there, maybe. I've got a midfield of Gross, Mbeumo, Bruno, and Solis. Gross is obviously a bit of an enabler, but seems like he could be okay. But he's played tonight, which is a bit of a bummer. And then I've got the
Gross is a good pick. He's been in a lot of teams. He's on penalties. I mean, he's like Ndai, right? It's the same.
Yeah, I suppose so. But no, well, the thing with Gross is he's got set pieces and penalties. As Ndai's got that, and Ndai's got set pieces, I think.
Ndai's got penalties, but he's plays further.
Yeah, and maybe Brighton are a bit of a better team than Everton. Yeah. No, not much in it actually, but template front three. And then a bench with not much money on it, as you can see. Steele, Rodon is my only playing bench player, really, that I can rely on.
O'Neill should play for Sunderland.
He's going to start. Yeah, he's going to start the first game, but then after that, I'm a bit screwed. So I may have to play around with these. I'd obviously like to upgrade one of them, but having Gabriel, Bruno, and Haaland makes it quite tricky. My chip strategy. Sorry, we didn't touch on it before. I'm obviously not bench boosting early, but I do want to get some chips in early. So I'm thinking TC, triple captain on Haaland in 3, and then free hit or wild card in 4. If I can free hit in 4, I will do it, and then I'll wild card in 6.
What's making you want to free hit in 4?
There's a bit of a fixture swing. So this is kind of set up for the first 3 weeks, really. And then things start changing, like Chelsea gets some good fixtures. Liverpool, I don't have any Liverpool here, which I don't like. I would like some Liverpool, so that I would get in Liverpool. I would know which city to get by then, because I'll have seen enough. I think I'll hopefully know which Chelsea to get for their run, and obviously Chelsea play Hull that week. I think, and also I just want to get some chips in use early to get me the boosts, to get me where I need to be.
I get the wild card game week 4. I was just interested on the free hit.
Well, it's more that do I want to try and use the free hit as well, and maybe use 3 chips in 5 or 6 weeks. If I do that, then I need to work out which way around to do them. And what makes sense is free hitting in game week 4 and trying to going treble Chelsea against Hull.
And also you got City v United that week, so you'd be able to
exactly. So I'd maybe even take on Haaland, because United have a really good record at home against City. So that's where I'm at the moment. There's definitely, I'm not sure about Christopher Ayer, not sure about the bench really at all. Gross is a bit of a worry. Solis, I'm not 100%, but I'm happy enough to go with it. And I also think with my chip strategy, if I have a bad week, the chips are coming out straight away anyway. So kind of whether I have a good week or a good 2 weeks or a bad 2 weeks, but it's certainly set up for the first 2 weeks, really. I like Brentford's first 2. Sunderland's, I've got 09 there, so if I need him. next week, and Rodon. I can't remember who they've got next week. I think they're at home, obviously. So, but yeah, I'm reasonably happy with this. But
Leeds got Brentford game week 2.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of players playing against each other there, but well, not too many. But that's sort of inevitable. You can't. It's very hard to have 15 players that don't play each other at all. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Any thoughts?
I think you.
Is it too much? Too much to go for the 3?
Think having Gabriel Fernandez and Haaland maybe creates too many compromises. I don't know.
I kind of agree, but I wonder if I can do it for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I think maybe then is there an argument with this team you've got to have a look at one of Mbeumo and Fernandez, and is there a way to kind of spread that out for a Liverpool player or a
I drop Fernandez or Haaland or Gabriel, actually it becomes a lot easier. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can drop Bruno when I think he's probably the best captaincy in the first 2 weeks, even though I'm not captaining him, as you can see here. But I kind of think he's the best captain for both weeks, first 2. He's certainly the best captain in game week 2.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, 100%.
And the way I've played in recent years is kind of trying to have the best captain every week. And it's easy if it's Salah every week or Haaland every week, because you just. But it obviously becomes a bit trickier if we've got maybe 3 or 4 players firing, which is what we all want, really, don't we? So
yeah. So there's some variability, yeah.
But yeah, that's my team, and we've done 50 minutes there, Bakes. We've gone well over, and I apologise. And thank you for your time, Bakes. That's been
no, not at all. It's been fun.
Been really good, and obviously, thanks everyone for watching. Oh dear, that's not gone well at all. I'm going to have to get rid of that. I'm going to put that back. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and good luck, everyone. Enjoy your final. We've got now about 20 hours till deadline. Enjoy the final tinkering, and good luck for the season, everyone. And thanks for watching. So yeah, bye for now.
Bye for now.